What's up, everybody? It's Ian here with Miller Garage. I'm continuing to get the shop set up for all of these upcoming projects and just in general because we moved in and just immediately started working. So I am really wanting to get things set up and organized, and the project I'm working on today is getting the air compressor plumbed and actually getting air ran throughout the whole shop. So I got a hose kit from Amazon, and there's a link below. So anything that you buy from my links helps me out, so I do appreciate that. But this is the Prime Fit hose kit, and it's 1/2 inch flexible. It's like a plastic tubing, and this is rated to 150 psi. Part of me kind of wishes I would have gotten a higher pressure hose, and I may, depending on what happens if we end up growing things, I may upgrade it down the road to a higher pressure system. We'll see, because this technically can put out 175 psi, so I will drop it down with this regulator here. So, we'll see how this works. I mean, it's got fittings and everything, and it looks like it's pretty nice. It comes with these aluminum manifolds that you can basically have, spread throughout the shop, and it has like opening for the bottom where you can do a drain at each hose site, which is nice. And then any water that may have accumulated in the lines, you can drain that out. And then it has these nice push connect fittings. They have the threaded ones and then plastic 90s, and they have mount holes in them, which I do like that. So then you can mount it exactly where you want it, which is pretty nice. So basically how the system's going to be is I have the air compressor, which is the 80-gallon Ingersoll Rand, which is going to come out, and we're going to go right into the Eastwood complete filtration system, because I want to just immediately filter and then run to all the different guns, or all the hose, spots. So then I'm going to have this reel, and hopefully this still works. This was actually in the shop whenever we bought it. The hose is a little dry rotted, but I can always get a replacement hose if need be. It works as far as the reel itself, which is good. So it's going to come into here, and then it's going to go and basically feed the rest of the system. And I'll have, in my welding area, I'll have just a line directly off the manifold that I can plug a hose in. I'm not going to have a reel or anything there, just so that I can put a hose there or have like a shorty hose to the plasma cutter whenever I get one of those. And then further down, I'm going to have another hose reel. It's a new one, so I know that one works. And then that one is going to have an additional filter and dryer on it, because that will most likely be the reel that I would use for, if I were to do any painting or any of that kind of stuff. So then I could run it outside and do that. So I want that additional filter down there, because whenever you're doing painting and stuff like that, you want the filter as close to the gun as possible. I don't know virtually anything about painting a vehicle, but I want to learn, and I do know that you need the filter really close for the air, so because clean air is super important. I know that. So I'm going to get started, and I have a few things that I still need to get. Some of the whip hoses, but I'm going to start running the 1/2 inch tubing everywhere and getting the manifolds in place, and just getting stuff set up. I have the line now ran all the way down, and then I have my final filter and water separator and regulator mounted down here. And this one it's like a 2-stage, so it's got a filter and a separator, and then a regulator, which will be good. And the reason why I wanted to put it down here is that this is most likely going to be the gun that I use for any painting or primarily using for doing the buck riveting. And so I can adjust my pressure down here at the very end downline and not affect any of the other tools. So that enables, whenever I'm buck riveting, it's like, I think like 50 to 70 PSI. So then somebody else can still be doing something else while I have this going on or whatever, I just want to have that ability. And so, unfortunately the inlet's over here. I had to mount it this way, so I got to kind of come around and make a loop, but not the end of the world. So I had to get a adapter for it because it's 3/8, and then this is 1/2 inch, I think, for this or something like that. All right, so now all the plumbing is done. We're gonna come back over to the compressor and fire it up and check for leaks. So I wired it up. It is full of oil and it is ready to go. So we're just gonna flip it on. I'll let it fill up and then I'll start to kick on the air and gradually increase the pressure to test everything. So let it fill up to about 150 PSI and I'm gonna crank it on. So far, so good. Take it up to about 80 PSI. See what happens. I hear a leak. There's a fitting over here I hadn't tightened. So I'm gonna tighten that up real quick and then we'll try again. All right, so there it is. We now have air, and not just like that little 8-gallon compressor that I have. This is way better. So happy. So, I hope this video was helpful. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, we got more stuff coming on the shop build and all of that greatness. I also got more Airstream stuff, Land Rover stuff. So like, subscribe, and comment, and we will see you next time.